Miss South Africa, Lalela Mswane, arrived back in South Africa after participating in the Miss Universe pageant in Israel. She was met with a backlash, and that you can recall as a country, with some quarters saying that her decision to participate in this competition was simply wrong. And she joins us now for that particular conversation, reflecting on her participation in the Miss Universe pageant. Ms. Mswane, thank you very much for your time. Firstly, can I ask just your thoughts about how you feel that you made it that far to this competition? You made it to the second queen, am I correct?
Yes, second runner-up, correct. It's super exciting. My goal and my measure of success was making top 3. Then I would have known that I had a good run. So having had achieved that is super amazing.
Ms. Mswane, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right, okay. So you basically are just proud of the achievement that you have achieved in this particular competition, but you will know also that your participation in this particular event was met with a lot of criticism. Can I first get your thoughts on that criticism before I weigh in as to what the other thoughts have been throughout the country? Some people reacting quite angrily at your decision to go there despite the resistance even of your own government.
Well, I first and foremost want to say I believe that it's misdirected anger. And, if you feel so strongly about such an issue, you would have raised it when the Miss Universe venue or location was announced in July. And as we all know, I was crowned in October. So if this was really a pro-humanity issue that is, so important to so many people, and I'm not trying to invalidate that, I'm a firm believer in it having been started or initiated when the venue was announced. So then I feel like it's a personal attack on me and on somebody who is a low-hanging fruit. You fail to address such issues with the president, and South Africa still has so many ties with Israel. So many sportsmen are allowed or permitted to carry on their professions in Israel. I decide to attend a pageant held in Israel, and I'm suddenly a bad person.
Let me ask you this way. Let me perhaps rephrase the question in this way. Do you understand what the objections were about against your participation in this event?
I'd like to think people viewed it as me being in support of Israel and the whole Israel-Palestinian war, which is beyond me. It's a conflict that commenced years ago, hundreds of years ago, something that's so complex. And I actually often wonder if the people that are so against me, even participating themselves, know why they're so against me attending. Because I've always said, if the pageant was held in Palestine, I would have gone without any shadow of a doubt.
Okay. So the people in South Africa, some of them on the back of your participation there, hold the view that you went against your own government to that event, and South Africa's position as far as the Israeli-Palestine issue is concerned is that the South African government says, and they don't mince their words on this, that the Israeli government is exercising what many black people in South Africa faced during the years of apartheid, and therefore their decision to distance themselves from your participation in that event. I'd like to know from you whether that sits well with you, that you still went there even without the support of your government, including in your response the context context I've just painted around the apartheid criticism?
I first and foremost feel like buzzwords were used to create a lot of traction on the issue. Secondly, if the government was so against me going, then they should cut ties, all ties with Israel. You cannot have double standards and tell me that I can't attend a pageant, which is not to even say I'm for a particular country. I don't have control over the venue. I never had a control over the venue from the beginning. And if it was such a big concern, I still maintain you should have raised it when it was announced. So I don't feel, while I respect people's opinions, we can't have a double standard here. Then tell the people that are sportsmen that are playing in Israel, there's rugby players, soccer players that return home. Cut all ties with Israel if that's truly your stance. But to then have this measure apply when it's me and not when it's business and trade and other people, when men are involved, is not fair.
Okay. The key lessons that you have learnt from this highly charged episode, if I could call it that, key lessons basically at a personal level or even at a professional level?
Personal level, definitely to be steadfast in your convictions, to not succumb to pressure, because I don't think it serves anybody. I'm very proud of my placement and I'm very proud of the decision that I made. Not everybody will understand or ever comprehend it, but it felt right. I felt justified in doing what I did, because you know what, had government said, yeah, we have released all ties with Israel, that's a whole different stance. But I think it's hypocritical to then ask of me to do something. As I said, I do think I was just an easy target, as I was a low-hanging fruit. And my participation is in no way an indication of any support towards any state. Like I said, had the pageant been held in Palestine, I would have been there in a heartbeat.
Finally, what does the rest of your reign look like? And in particular, are there specific issues that you are going to be championing? And I ask you this on the back of your predecessor, who has championed issues of mental health, for example. Some people saying that you're stepping in big shoes here.
Definitely am, but I'm very excited. No pressure there. I picked unemployment as the cornerstone cause of my reign, particularly because it affects our youth, and I know how that feels. It's a very personal thing to me as well, prior to having been employed as Miss South Africa. So I am ready to launch my campaign, #BeReady, and I will be pledging 10% of my winnings towards my campaign. So I'm super excited about that.
Lalela Mswane is our beauty queen, Miss South Africa. Thank you very much for your time. Very clear in her thoughts that if the South African government is going to act in this fashion regarding her participation in a pageant that was taking place in Israel, therefore, cut all ties. You cannot exercise double standards. I wonder what your thoughts are on her sentiments there.